I cannot fight this time. Why you running through my mind? It's getting hard to try and be the only one you need. I can't sleep, it's lonely, trying to be all on my own. I'll never get better if I try to be all alone. If I try to be all alone. If I try to be all alone. If I just try to hide and lock everything inside, my head is spinning, visions blurring, I don't mind. I can't sleep, it's lonely, trying to be all on my own. I'll never get better if I try to be all alone. 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 All night long. Don't say I told you, I know you're familiar, but I can't find a cure to get you out my mind. So I've taken all my almonds, I've listened to you hoping, and you keep begging me to understand. We've been out of time, but we can press rewind if I want to tell you something that I want. It's just the truth. I won't use my time wisely. I don't know when I'm trying. I don't even wanna hear your voice all night long. I believe in miracles, but I don't believe in your soul. I wish that we could just be friends, so it won't happen again. All this time I was wondering if I could be your king, but I don't even know if I could be anything. I had hopes for you, but it was misfortune. I wish that we could go back. All this all day to the weekend, but you stay on my mind all the time. But I can't go back and press rewind. Hey, we've been out of time, but we can press rewind if I want to tell you something that I want. It's just the truth. I won't use my time wisely. I don't know when I'm trying. I don't even wanna hear your voice all night long. All night long. All night long. I've waited long enough and given up hope. Whoa, whoa. Takes a lot for me to break down my walls. Whoa. Every time you catch me say that I don't believe in love, you always try to change my mind. And even though my heart is cold, you're always there for me to hold. You never had to change your heart, but change your heart. If you could only feel what I feel, you would understand what I can't heal. I see your eyes, you see through me. I am numb, but you can feel me. My soul is damned, but you have saved me. Every time you catch me say that I don't believe in love, you always try to change my mind. And even though my heart is cold, you're always there for me to hold. You never had to change your heart, but change your heart.
think it's about ready time. It's about ready time. Music. Wrong song.
Distance nerding.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Wade W. Wilson. I'm filling in for young Phil. Phil is dead. He died in a horrible cotton buffalo pillow accident. Terrible, so bad. Anyways, I'm here to host the show. So let me bring on our first guest host. I guess he is here. It seems like he is a person from the Sandlot. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, bring on the blind dude from that and the Little Rascals. Squints, how's it going, buddy? Oh, wait a minute. There, I fixed it.
Oh, please.
How's it going, man? How you doing here?
Good.
I don't know how to make this thing work. Is that where the music is? Okay, there it goes. All right. Anyways, sorry. Nobody wants to see that. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, as I said, young Phil is what? I will win. Yeah, I'm not dead. I don't know what the hell just happened right there, but ladies and gentlemen, you are now watching The Build. Terrible. My terrible acting there. I had to do something dumb, and then I realized as I'm doing this whole little Wade Wilson Deadpool spiel that I can't really read any of. Yeah, I mean, I can see perfectly. The whole thing is that because it's the eye holes in this thing, right? Basically, where I cannot see through the eye, like I can't read through it, right?
Right.
I'm like, oh, well, now I can't read the copy, and this is gonna really, really suck. So I've got ads, ladies and gentlemen, and I mean, kind of this show doesn't run unless I do said ads. So that being said, glasses on. Before I bring on our guest, because I'm already way too excited, and I'm gonna skip this. Ladies and gentlemen, this stream is brought to you by a wonderful little product called Poddex. Poddex. Take that off the screen right there. All right. Poddex are a unique interview question and episode starting prompt in the palm of your hand. So whether you are a new podcaster or an existing broadcaster looking to grow your audience, or get more engagement, you're going to want to check out poddex.com. Now, ladies and gentlemen, use the code NERDington right there on the screen. The NERDing10, that's right there on the screen. God damn it, Stone Cold, stop. All right, NERDing10 to get 10% off of your purchases at Poddex. Guys, if you're unfamiliar with it, you have to check out Poddex. Poddex are super fun. They're not only for like interviews and things like that, and we use them for our interviews as well, but they're good for like icebreakers, or if you're doing like a corporate retreat, or you just want to be the cool guy at a party and it's like, hey, you guys want to do something fun? Here's some questions. Boom, things like that. So that's the first piece right there. That is right. Let's create in the chat. Optimus Prime. Let's roll out. Thomas Wong, what up, buddy? I'm happy to see you in the chat there. So going back to this, the next ad I got to throw out there, right? Guys, you may wonder, right? Because you can see that the show is powered by Poddex, but then you may wonder what the hell is powering young Phil. The guy talks way too much and he has way too much energy, and we don't know how this is going on. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's because he drinks a lot of Dubby. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Dubby is an emerging brand of energy drinks created to help focus, concentration, reaction time with no jitters or crash. Dubby contains no maltodextrin, no sugar, no fillers, no artificial colors, no dyes. Guys, find out more about Dubby at www.dubby.gg. That is right, www.dubby.gg. And put in the code NERDington, NERDING10 to get 10% off your purchase. Guys, it comes in 5 delicious flavors. And when I say delicious, they actually are delicious. We got Dub Sludge, we got Galaxy Grenade, we got the Dragon Aid, which is always my favorite. And Galaxy Grenade, if you guys are unfamiliar here yet, Galaxy Grenade is watermelon, guava, and lime. What do you think about that, Squids?
Oh, sounds delicious.
I know, right? Dragonade, I brain farted for a second. Dragonade is dragon fruit pink strawberry lemonade. I mean, you can't get more delicious than that. Of course, you got the new Beach and Peach, which is a white peach and mango cooler, and it is mango. I got it's like saying tortillas in English. I can't say tortillas. I got to say mango. And then Passion Joy tea, which is a passion fruit iced tea. They are all delicious. They are all good. And then you can mix the flavors and they taste just as good. Ladies and gentlemen, check out Dubby. And it is well worth your time. I guarantee you will like the way you look after you drink it. I'm sorry, wrong ad. Just before I bring in our esteemed guest here, just got to catch up in the chat here. So our boy Darren, right, the humblebee Optimus, Mickey is on this stream. I love it when he calls me Mickey, just because you never know when. Oh boy, what's going on today? I'm building Lego. Stuff like that. It's great. What other flavors are there, Phil? Those 5 are the only that are out right now, Thomas Wong. So it's I'm sure they'll be coming out with new flavors, but those are the ones that they have right now. We got Optimus Prime ready to access this stream. Oh, yes, it is. Arnold, get to the chopper. The Predators, get to the chopper. Get to the chopper now.
Do it. Do it.
Do it now.
I left that on there from when we did his interview. I was playing that like through the whole interview.
Do it. Do it. Come on. Do it now.
All right. That all being said, ladies and gentlemen, I've been talking about it for like ever. And if anybody that knows me has heard about how much I love this dude, because when we met him, it was like one of the coolest experiences. Not only that, just the characters that he's played are awesome. He's been in Black Panther, he's been in Civil War, but he's the freaking Predator, man. And he didn't just play one, he played multiple Predators in that movie. So I mean, like, that to me is something stupid cool. But he's also the world record holder for the tallest parkour athlete, which from there is, again, stupid badass. So
right,
without further ado, without any more I don't know, ego fellatio is what I'm gonna call this right now. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the show Brian A. Prince.
Oh man,
How's it going, man?
good. Ego fellatio is definitely going in my deck.
Because right, I don't know if you've ever listened to Kevin Smith ever.
Yeah.
Right. So
Yeah,
you know, like when Kevin Smith, when he's like bigging people up.
When he, like,
Oh yeah, always good.
Yeah, even Kevin Smith's were
Right. But like, whenever Kevin Smith is like bigging somebody up, he's always like, all right, that's enough sucking dick for today, right? Like
yeah.
I was like, okay, well, I want to do something similar to that. Okay, so like that, but then at the same time, like, okay, so fellatio, but at the same time, because you're inflating the ego fellatio. That's perfect.
Yeah, there you go.
Perfect. I saw Kevin Smith when I was in Vancouver for filming The Predator. I saw him in my hotel, and I was walking like the front door was here. I was walking this way into the elevator, and I see him coming in, and I turn in the elevator, and it was such a long reaction where I'm in the elevator. I was like, that was fucking Kevin Smith, like, because it was definitely him. Like he had the coat, he had the shorts, he had the Jersey Devils jersey on, and I was just like, that was fucking Kevin Smith. I should have fucking said hi. That was cool.
Nice.
Man.
Yeah, man. What's up? I'm glad to be here. Thanks for having me. This is dope.
Hell yeah, man. We're gonna have so much fun. I'm getting ready to switch cameras here, and we're gonna start building these Legos while we're having a conversation with you. Right there.
Fantastic. I should have brought some.
Right. So
He does them super fast too.
yeah, I know, right? It's kind of like the whole premise of the show is I do Lego and I do it really fast.
Okay.
The whole thing is I didn't get a chance to actually finish the kit that I was doing last week, which by the way, this is the one I'm doing next.
That's big.
So this is the one that we have like ready here, right?
Yeah.
Dude, it's a full on. If you haven't seen this thing,
Does it actually transform?
it actually transforms into a truck.
That's wild. Okay.
So I cannot wait to get into this. Probably not going to finish it tonight, but I mean, like, we're going to get a good amount of it done. Same thing. So this is what I have so far of the Dark Trooper helmet from what I was doing last week here.
Oh, sick.
So I'm going to finish that. But kind of jumping in on this, man. God, where do we start, man? I've
Ask me a question. I'll start talking, and I won't shut up. And
that's kind of the idea. That's what we want is for you to talk and not shut up. You know, just
yeah.
But I mean,
podcast, and you ask a question, they're like, "It was good."
Oh god, yeah. This is so. How are things?
Yeah.
No, I mean, I want to get into like the fun nitty gritty stuff because I know you've got a lot of good stories about like being on set and everything like that. But there's some other stories that I don't know if we can talk about, but if we can, I want to.
Okay.
Specifically, the Firefest of Cons, if we can talk about that.
Yeah, we can talk about the Firefest of Cons. We can talk about let me see what's in my mind right now. Let's see. It's a weird month for me because I got. Let's see, two things coming out. We got Prey coming out, new Predator movie. Excited for that. I got some like weird backstage drama on that, and I can like give some weird backstage drama of why I'm not in that. I'm not sure if I should talk about that, but I got that. I got Nope.
Up to you, man.
Yeah.
New Jordan Peele
came out. I know, right? New Jordan Peele came out. Nope. That was cool. I watched that, and I wasn't in that, but I was in. That brought back some memories because I was in Lovecraft Country, episode 1. And so that got me thinking about that. But
and that
Predator, anything Predator we could talk about.
Yeah, I was gonna say that also what was I gonna I forgot already, man. Sorry. No, so I mean what situation happened on the set of Prey? Oh no, okay, that's what I was gonna say. So Jordan Peele's new movie, Nope.
Yeah.
I've heard nothing but good things about it, man. I mean, I've seen some people that have like watched it and have given it like scathing reviews, but I mean, it's really the for the most part, everything that I've heard has been good about it.
It's layered, man. Like it's a solid film. I suggest watching it. Cinematography is great, acting's great, performances are solid. It is layered though. Like if you go in expecting it to kind of hold your hand or make sense off the bat, it might seem a little flat or like empty, but like it's weird that if you like, and I don't know how I feel about this, but like if you've worked in Hollywood, there's like a lot more to that movie, but like it's like that I'm not sure if that's a good thing to do because then a lot of people can't get to it because there's a lot of underlying tones of kind of like the commodification of people and how Hollywood can like kind of take people, chew them up, spit them out. Somebody in the chat asked if I was the original Arnold Predator. No, I am not because I'm 33 years old and that movie is 35 years old. So good question. I know they say black don't crack, but not that well.
Do it! Come on! Do it now!
But yeah, no, that's my thoughts on Nope. Pretty much. Oh, look, we got some questions in here already. Somebody asked, do you do your own stunts as the Predator? This is probably a good place to start.
Yeah.
So yes, I did every single stunt. So in the Predator 2018, Shane Black directed the Predator. That's the one that I'm from. I did I was the Fugitive Predator, which is this mask right up here is my little Predator collection. Everything you see in that character is me. Every single like shot, except for like a few CG shots. Those are not me, but they're modeled off of me, or my suit, I should say. And that was a wild experience. So when I first auditioned for it, I was auditioning for the stunt double or the stunt character. And then it wasn't until I got to Vancouver and they were like, no, you're doing like everything. And I was like, oh, okay, that's fine.
Nice.
Which for me was crazy. Yeah, it was crazy for me because I hadn't acted before on film. Like I hadn't done anything more than like stunt inserts or stunt bits. And so that didn't completely like freeze me with anxiety and get me in this position where I felt like, oh, I can't screw this up.
Right.
And so yeah, I ended up doing everything with that. I also played another character called Emissary Predator 1. The Emissary Predators, a lot of people in the Predator like fans, like fan space, they know about the Emissary Predators, but unfortunately the Emissary Predators never made it to screen. That's a whole thing that people like to ask me about because that's just a wild thing to be privy to. So basically like you had, like, I'm assuming we all saw the movie. If you didn't see the movie, spoilers, why are you here? So like the movie goes, right? And then there's the part where my character, Fugitive Predator, like I die, surprise, and I get my head ripped off by the upgrade Predator. Pretty much like almost everything after that was reshot. I should say like everything, but like I'm talking like in that half of the movie, because it's about halfway through the movie, in that half of the movie, they reshot like 50% of that. So like a good quarter to a third of that movie was completely redone, which is crazy. So the original climax, and you can find paparazzi photos of this, is us on this 8-wheeled armored vehicle that they like they bought it, and then they repainted it. They put an entire platform on it. They put a 50 caliber gun turret on top of it. They decked this whole thing out, and we filmed this entire sequence where the Emissary Predators plus all the main characters are on top of this thing, and we're shooting these like predator creature hybrids in the forest, and it's foggy and it's like crazy. There's explosions, there's gunfire. It was pretty tight. Like it might not have been like people ask me like, oh, like was the original cut better? One, I never saw it. Like I wasn't privy to that, unfortunately. And so was it better? Like I'm gonna say yes. Was it still like a solid movie? Like would that make it like 90% on Rotten Tomatoes? Maybe not, but it would be like a solid, cohesive movie experience in my opinion. A lot of other things from the first half would make sense in the second half. Like it would be more of a consistent pacing throughout the whole thing.
Right.
And so that it was pretty crazy to watch them just scrap all of that. So it was me playing Emissary 1, this other guy playing Emissary 2. And we did so much work that just got like kind of thrown out the window, and that stung. But it's a weird situation because you got like your creatives, your directors, writers, you got your studio, Fox, and
right.
You got your producers. And it's like it was like all three of them were just like, no, I want to do it this way. No, I want to do it this way. No, I want to do it this way. And then like, I think the people with the most money won, and it's because you have the most money.
Normally happens.
Which normally happens. That's Hollywood. But just because you have the most money doesn't mean you like necessarily
are correct.
The best take. As an artist, like I grew up. I was an illustrator first before I was an actor. This is actually an art piece I made. It's this T-shirt.
Nice.
I know what it's like to have the person funding the project be like, but I want it this way. And then you're over here with all the knowledge, like, why? So that's kind of what happened with that one. But yeah, somebody asked.
I want it this way. Well, your idea sucks, right?
Yeah, right. And you can't say that. You're just like,
I know.
Okay, like, and it's gonna like be a flaming pile of garbage. Or you're just like, okay,
right,
it's fine, sure.
So your intention is to lose money then? Okay.
Yeah, and it's tough, man. Hollywood's a crazy beast because like you just like the status quo is to nod and just like, yeah, okay. Which I have problems with at this point. Unpopular opinion. It's just it's very conducive to abuse. You know what I'm saying? Like there's a reason all these Me Too people came out at the same time is because they were like, oh, someone, we're supporting each other because like they all went through this thing where they're just like they didn't feel supported.
Right.
And so it's just crazy, man. Somebody else asked in the chat, how'd you get the role playing the Predator? What was the audition like? That's a pretty good question. So I did parkour. At this point, I've been doing parkour for 15 years. At the time, I was doing parkour for like 8 or 9. And basically, because of parkour, I had a lot of contacts in the stunt world. And then that led to me doing stunt acting as well. So my specialty is basically movement. I'm 6'10", but I can move. I'm 6'10" and like 220 pounds, but I kind of move like I'm, I don't know, 5'10" and 160 pounds. And so with that specialty, I'm able to like move well, and they needed that. And so somebody kind of like found out I existed. Sorry, like in my playback, it looks like there's stuff on my face, and I can't tell if there's actually stuff on my face or if I'm just seeing something. Yeah, there's like fuzz in here. What happened? What happened? What did I do?
Right.
I was cleaning up earlier. That's so distracting. But yeah. So the
your face.
I know. It's just like what?
I got food in my beard. What?
It's because I don't know when I shave my beard, it's like Velcro basically. But what was I saying? Yeah. So like I did a lot of parkour. And then I wish I could say like I worked so hard and got this gig, and it's like, no, like apparently they were auditioning a bunch of people for it that were tall and did stunts, and some actors, and then I just get like a phone call out of nowhere from the stunt coordinator, and it's just like, "Are you really 6'10" and do parkour?" And I was like, "Who is this?" It was like 8 in the morning, and I was like, "What? Yeah, hello." And then I sent him my stuff. He liked it, and they flew me to LA like a week later. And then I ended up auditioning with the other people. And then I ended up getting it because the audition was at a parkour gym. It was the Tempest Street Running Academy in like Chatsworth, like in the Valley in LA. And and like kind of while everyone else was like warming up, I was just like playing around and jumping and flipping off stuff. And then I got it. So that was fun.
Right, because once you're saying like you didn't think you were gonna get it in the first place, so you're just like, fuck it, I'm just gonna go and have fun. Oh no!
Oh, did we lose him?
I think we might have lost him, or at least he's frozen.
Yeah, he might be frozen.
Oh no! Well, hopefully we get him back soon here. Like internet went out, kind of thing.
Yeah.
I mean, he is in Portland, so I mean,
maybe he's coming back.
I hope we're getting him back. I don't. It's fill time. Phil, how do we fill time?
Right.
Stretch.
So.
Stretch.
Right. So yesterday was the WWE SmackDown.
So not necessarily SmackDown, but we did a SummerSlam recap show.
SummerSlam recap. That's what it was. Okay.
And Jesus, man, that thing went way longer than we expected it to go. We 100% were not expecting that show to go 4 hours, and it did.
Oh, wow.
But it was really good. I managed to let me see here. I managed to break it up into 2 episodes, and I released both episodes today.
Gotcha.
But yeah, I mean the show ended up a lot better than we kind of expected it to be, and it was fun, man. Like, really what happened was it started off as like, we're talking
there we
summer.
go.
He's
Oh,
back.
yeah.
I'm back. Sorry. I guess my internet just decided to take the day off.
Crap out.
It happens.
We were just like, all right, we got to stretch. Parkour.
Yeah.
Right. I don't know. Somebody asked me a question. I lost my thought. What was the question I was answering? Or...
Oh, it was about
How you got the role playing the Predator? What was the audition?
Yeah. So the audition was at a parkour gym, and I just like kind of did my thing, and then they really liked it, and so then they're like, "Yeah, we want you to be the guy," and I was just like, "Are you sure?" I mean, I didn't ask that. I was just
Really?
like,
Me?
really? Yeah, like that's not how this works. Someone doesn't just call you, and then a week later, your life is completely different.
right.
But that was cool, man. Like I really dug it. It's a really good group of people. I'm still friends with all the people I auditioned with. But it was a nice moment of like luck, equals, or what was it? Like opportunity is luck plus preparedness. That was kind of cool.
Yeah.
So that's that story.
So how did you get into parkour?
I got into parkour in 2008 from it was like a combination of things, but like originally the first time I had seen parkour really like understood it was like a thing was the Casino Royale movie, the James Bond Casino Royale movie. Because I mean I'd always played like platforming games. I love Prince of Persia, I love games like that, and I always loved games where you like did parkour, but I never knew it was like a thing. And then when I saw that movie, like watching the guy like run and jump while being chased by James Bond was like, oh snap, that's awesome. Which that guy is his name is Sebastian Foucault. He's like one of the founders of parkour. He's like one of the original parkour athletes.
Oh,
he's
really?
Yeah, he's like in his 40s or 50s now, and he still looks exactly the same. And he like still jumps around and stuff.
Stupid athletic.
Cool. Yeah, he's insanely athletic. And so like seeing that, I was just like, what is happening? And then the second thing that happened was so back before Ninja Warrior was the like reality drama TV show it is now on NBC. It used to be like just a Japanese game show. And I think a lot of people remember that.
Not the Gong Show, but it was no, I know what show you're talking about.
Yeah, it was called Sasuke, and it was just like the same show, but without prize money or like weird like interviews and stuff. Which I don't know. I have a lot of friends on that show, so no offense to them. Just we can all agree it's one of those things where like TV makes things dramatic. But they did a contest way back, and they sent like 3 athletes to Japan to compete, and 2 of them at the time were parkour athletes. The third one, I guess, kind of wasn't, but now he is, and he owns like a gym in North Carolina, a parkour like Ninja Warrior gym. And seeing them on that show, I was like, dang, that's cool. And that made me really want to try parkour because at the time I really wanted to be on Ninja Warrior. And so I just kind of went out in the backyard one day. I looked up some YouTube tutorials. At the time, YouTube was like 480p video.
Yes.
It was like those early days. And these guys from Hawaii, like Hawaii parkour, they for some reason had like the most tutorials how to do parkour at the time. And I just went and taught myself. I never took classes. I just went and figured it out. And then I just fucking couldn't stop, and I loved it. And so I just started doing that almost every day for the next 8-9 years.
Right, because you live in Portland, right?
I'm in Seattle.
In Seattle? Okay. I was gonna say I know Portland has a big parkour community.
Yeah, it's massive. They have a few gyms. They have this super awesome gym that unfortunately closed because of COVID. A lot of parkour gyms closed because of COVID. That was pretty sad, but it's what happens. So but that's how I got into parkour. It was an interesting time because I don't know. I'm still the tallest person doing it at the time. I like most definitely was the tallest person doing it, and by that I mean like there wasn't a lot of people training.
This is a first for the show, guys. I will be right back because I think there might be a tow truck here to pick up my car. I got in an accident this weekend, so I'm sorry. I'll be right back.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, we'll just hold it down. Hope he's okay. Dang, it's casually. Yeah, no car accident. So yeah, I was like the tallest. I'm the tallest person doing parkour at the time. I was like definitely the tallest, because there weren't a lot of people that did parkour. So there's a lot of people that were like, I don't know if you can do this, and I didn't know if that was true or not. But luckily, I was very like, just like bullheaded at the time of doing things I wanted to do. Because I think someone in the chat was asking if I played basketball, and like I did in high school, but I just fucking hated it.
Right.
Which is
Because
like
it was an expectation because you're that tall.
Yeah, because of the expectation. Like no one
Yeah.
teaches you when you're that tall. Everyone just expects you to be good, and it's like, I could not handle that. And it's funny. I'm actually pretty good. I'm not bad, but like, dude, I don't know, man. Like,
yeah, I get you. I don't like that
yeah,
stigma either. Just because I'm of the way I look or whatever, you just expect me to do this.
Yeah, I mean, like, I hate to get like real as fuck, but like when you have a bunch of old white guys being like, "Come on, do this thing," you're just like,
right? Yeah,
I don't want to do this right now. Like it feels really uncomfortable, and so I just like as soon as I graduated high school, I was just like, I'm not doing that anymore, and I just started doing art instead. And then, which I'd done art a lot. I'd always drawn when I was in high school, and then I got into parkour, and that became my sport, which is crazy. And I actually loved I loved how people were like, "Oh, do you play basketball?" I was like, "No, I do parkour." And people would react like, "What? What is that? I don't know what that is."
Yeah.
So definite false or a false alarm.
Okay, cool.
It was
you got into a car accident? Are you good? Like what
no, I'm good, man. So what happened was yesterday, yesterday my fiance we went to go put tires on her car. And so, we dropped her car off at Costco to go and get the tires done. And on our way to go pick the car up, a car like basically ran into the back of my car and wrecked the crap out of it.
Oh no.
And I mean, we're fine. We're okay. So that's the good news and everything. But my car is not. So, yeah, basically, USAA was supposed to be sending out a tow truck today, and they haven't come out. So,
dang. Well, shoot. I'm glad you're okay. That sucks about the car.
Yeah. I mean, I just paid off my car, so it kind of sucks.
Yeah.
But I mean, I've been planning on trading it in for a truck anyway, so this might be kind of just like accelerating the process, kind of thing.
Right.
Yeah, it's time for that to happen.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, where were we here in the
So
story?
we're talking about parkour and how he got started and
Okay, cool.
everything like that.
Yeah,
because I mean I used to be a shop sponsored inline skater and got back into it, and now I'm seeing all these kids doing like parkour plus inline skating, and I'm like, what the heck?
Yeah, I saw a dude in LA train, like we were doing parkour in LA this like a few months ago, and he like jumped to a wall on his skates and then flipped off of it, and I was just like,
yeah, just
okay, that's just casually do that. That's cool.
Yeah, I don't know what the move's called, but it looks like you're basically like bounding like a gorilla.
Yeah.
And then a guy this is one that I saw. I was just like, then a guy like bounds and then skates up ledge and grinds down it. And I'm like, okay, did I just see what I thought?
What the hell is happening right now?
Yeah, it's mind blowing. The I don't know, man. Parkour is crazy on its own because like every generation is like, at first there's
not much
like,
more crazy.
No one can do that. That's impossible. And then suddenly it's like, oh, well, now you can do that. And then suddenly people are just doing it. And you're like, oh, okay, everything's possible now. So
What? There was a TV show recently where they were trying to, I think they were trying to train superheroes, and they and like the dude who was training them just like forced them to jump off the side of a building.
I don't know.
Like they were roof bounding.
Shoot! know what you're talking about. I can't think of
Yeah.
what the show that it was.
He was like forcing them to roof bound. Because the whole idea was to conquer your fears, kind of thing, but like still. I'm trying to remember. No, it wasn't. It wasn't the Matrix. That's a whole different kind of like
Yeah.
Because that was more not.
No, it was Cobra Kai.
Cobra Kai. That's what it was.
Okay.
That's what it was, and he makes them all roof bound.
That's funny. Yeah, I have some buddies on that show. They filmed that one in Atlanta. So.
Damn it. Okay, so everybody wants to ring the doorbell today.
You're popular.
All right, this one looks like two little girls, so they're probably asking me to give them something, and I'm in the middle of a show. Can you buy some cookies? See, if there were Girl Scout cookies, I'd be down to buy some cookies, but
No, we're past season.
yeah. More than likely, they're either asking me to help them with something, or they threw a ball in my backyard or something.
Right.
So what's the next question? I guess.
Oh.
I'm just sitting here watching you build Legos.
It becomes mesmerizing after a while. That's the reason why I have to have a co-host, because then I'll just like start building. I mean,
so,
go ahead.
so let's go on from there with Predator. How long for the suit and makeup and everything? How long were you doing that before even filming?
It was like an hour, like 45 minutes at the quickest. The longest, it was like an hour.
Wow, that's pretty quick actually to get armor and everything on.
It's mad quick. Like a lot of people are expecting this like huge thing, but it's a lot of gloves, and so it's a lot of it's like a big body glove. It's not a lot of pieces and not like prosthetic makeup, which is what takes a long time. Makeup takes forever.
Okay.
Like I did an episode of Walking Dead, and it took them 2.5 hours to put the makeup on my face. Versus like Predator was like an hour at the longest, like an hour for like really taking our time. 45 minutes at the like quickest if we need to hurry up. But yeah, it's like you put on the suit, you put on the body, and then they put the costume on over the body. And it takes like 3 or 4 people to put it on me. It's like very much a team effort, which is like something I love about it. And because I don't know, you can't take credit for it all by yourself. It's all about that like makeup team,
Right.
helping you out. There's this guy like named Mike Fields. Fucking love this guy, man. Mike Makes Monsters. This is Instagram. Mike Fields, super cool dude. He's legendary in Canada. He has tattoos up to like here, everywhere. And this man would curse people out on my behalf. And I remember like going into this shoot, I was very timid. I was like, oh, no, it's cool. I don't want to mess stuff up. It's fine. But then you learn that like being like that, they'll just like take whatever they can get.
Take advantage of you and stuff.
Oh God, yeah, it's crazy. And Mike would just be like he cursed somebody out, be like, "What the fuck is our truck plugged in? We need our truck to be fucking plugged in." And I was just like, in the beginning, I was like, "Oh, this guy's a little aggro." But then like a month in, I was like, "Tell him," like, because it's like he's not doing it to be a jerk. He's doing it because like legit, like sometimes, man, like we talked about this at the convention at Meadowlark. Like it's a lot about advocating for yourself, man. Hollywood's crazy. Like if you like, I don't know. A lot of people don't like to hear it, but it's this truth. Like if you don't advocate for yourself, like nobody will. And so what unfortunately happens is I think a lot of people go way too far with that, and then you get these like Christian Bale clips where he's just going off on the wrong person.
Right.
And like even then, like out of context, you're like, what a jackass. In context, that might make a little more sense. That's all I'm saying. I'm not defending him, but I'm saying there is a middle to be like, hey, I need this thing. And then they'll be like, and they will try to be like, well, we don't have time. And you have to be like, no, like, if we want to keep going all day today, I need this thing. It's a safety issue.
Right.
And they're like, okay, fine. And that thing was like going to the bathroom or drinking water so you don't pass out. And you're like,
right.
I would fight for it.
Yeah, I was telling them before the show about kind of like that whole situation. I don't know if you want to go into that, like passing out in the suit.
Yeah. Did we talk about? I told you that at Metal Arc.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like so we were doing emissary stuff, which so ironically didn't even make it to light. But basically, the two emissary predators were walking in to the spaceship, and we're doing this long scene. Like the two emissary predators walk in, and they made us walk up like the whole ramp to the spaceship into the main like bay of it, because they built this whole part of the spaceship. The whole interior was like a real set. It was really cool. And then inside the ship is like all of the lead actors. They're all in there. And then Edward James almost was there. He was playing this like general character that was like in charge of the emissary predators. So he like introduces us, and then like Olivia Munn character's like, oh, who are they? And then like Boyd Holbrook's character's like, oh, they're bad, and they're all aiming at us. And then Edward's like, no, they're not bad. So it's this whole like back and forth. So we would like walk in, and then we would like react to what they're saying, and we'd walk around the room, and like progressively as we started filming more and more, we would like play with it a lot more. It was really fucking fun. Cause like, I don't know, when you're in stunts, at least I think like actors and like lead actors, big head actors, they're just like, oh, I'll do whatever I want. But when you're stunts, you're very much like, you kind of wait till you're told to do stuff. And on the emissary days, we were usually like second unit, which means like I was more in a stunt position than I was in like a lead, in like an acting position.
Right.
So like I wasn't doing much. I was just kind of standing there, and then Shane Black came up, and he was like, "Hey guys, like do some shit, like walk around, like play around." And I remember being like, "Oh, we can do shit." And he's like, "Yeah, you can do shit." I was like, "Oh, let's fucking do shit." And then like like the actual discourse between me and Shane Black, it was so fun. And then like so we like started walking around the room and doing stuff. So like that'd be one take, and we just kept doing this take over and over and over and over and over. And so like it definitely got to the point where I had the suit on for like a while, and I was just like getting fucking hot. And yeah, man, like I like didn't have water in me, and I was like, hey, I need a break. And they were just kind of like, we gotta keep going, because no one wants to get in trouble. So like if you don't talk to the right person, they're kind of like, oh, okay, and they didn't say nothing. And we did like another take, and I was like, hey, I kind of need a break. And then they're like, oh, we know. Gotta get these shots. And then we go again.
How long would you be in the suit at a time?
It depends on the day. Like sometimes I'd be in it for like a few hours. On average, I was in it for like 8 to 12 hours. Okay. Like, and that's like the head wasn't on the whole time. The head would go on for shots. Right. The head I'd be in for like sometimes 30 minutes, sometimes 7 hours. It just depends on the day. And so this was one of those days where I was just in the thing all damn day. And yeah, we walked. I remember walking up there for that last take, and I was just like, "Oh my god, I'm so hot! I'm just gonna take a deep breath." And then, like, next thing you know, like, I'm waking up on the ground, and people are
on the floor,
yeah. And because I passed out, which is like a little upsetting, because I remember like watching like the red carpet or something at Comic-Con, and like Thomas Jane was just like, "Oh, haha," they kept passing out. I'm like, "Motherfucker! Like, what do you know about wearing this suit? Like, get out of here!" Like y'all kept messing up your lines, and I was dying. Like suit acting's like that, man. People just they see the suit and they think, oh, that's a cool suit, but they forget that there's a person in there. And don't get me wrong, like it's dope work. I love it, but you gotta have a good coordinator, you gotta have a good director, good other actors who understand, like, hey, inside that suit is a person who's sweating more than any of us combined. So we gotta like keep account of that. And that's kind of the point of this story is like before that accident, I was very much like, oh, I don't want to get in trouble. I don't want to mess stuff up. And then I realized like, oh my God, they're going to kill me. Like if I don't say like, hey, like I need this thing, like stop. And so it definitely was a turning point. And like I had to have like a meeting with all the producers and stuff because they were all like, whose fault is this? And essentially I had to be like, it's not my fault that I passed out of heat exhaustion. Which was a crazy thing I never thought I'd have to argue for, but here we are.
I mean, the natural thing that happens when you're dehydrated.
Just, you know, it happens. Why did you pass out? I'm like, because I
lack of water and heat.
People thought I was asking for comfort. It's like, no. So, yeah, like stuff like that. Like that was a big moment that happened to me. And yeah, I did figure that out.
Yeah, man, that's I mean that's insanity, you know, like to think that, you know, and I get it, like they have a schedule, they got the movie that they're doing and everything, but it's just kind of like you're putting another person at risk.
Yeah,
And-
no, it's so I don't know. It's there's like a balance to it. Like there's safety involved, there's logistics, and then at the same time there's fun and there's acting. And
Right.
going through something like that film, playing the two Predators, like having all those experiences, coming out the other side out of like 5 or 6 months, and people are just like, "How was it?" And you're just like, a lot. Like, and it's not like you can't say good or bad because it was all of those things. Like there were great moments, there were awful moments, there were hilarious moments, there were sad moments. It's life, you know. It's like your life. Imagine somebody asks, like, "Hey, how was your life in the last 6 months?" You can't just be like, "Good." You know what I mean? Like, it was like this. It was all over the place, and so it's hard because I try to be like an honest person, but I also like sometimes I know people just want to be like, "Oh, tell me how awesome it was," and it's like, "Ah, it was awesome. I wouldn't trade it for the world. I'd do it again in 5 seconds." And at the same time, like, fundamentally changed who I was as a person.
Right. And I mean, you know, you learn from it, right? You like you said, you learn that you need to advocate for yourself, you know. So
Yeah, that was the thing I learned the most. Is like
Mhm.
I needed to learn how to just say, "Hey, I need this thing," and when people try to push me into doing it without it, I'm like, I gotta be like, "No, like, this is what I need."
right. You know, if you don't do this, then I'm not doing anything, man.
Yeah, because I'm dead.
Exactly. Like I don't want to die. So
Yeah,
I
Yeah.
would like some water.
yeah. Especially doing stunts too, because stunts is like
Mhm.
you're constantly assessing the risk of what you're doing. Like if if you know that the thing they're gonna do is gonna slam you into a wall and kill you, you have to be like, hold on, like hold on a second, like,
It's like, wait.
like, you know,
Yeah.
and you're never like, yeah. Hopefully you're not alone in that. Like you have your stunt coordinator, you have your other stunt actors, you have a whole team of people where you can be like, hey guys, like how does this feel? And everyone's like feeling it out. Stunt teams are awesome like that, where they they have your back. Everybody's like trying to like make sure
Oh,
no one
shit.
dies.
Oh,
Hi.
oh.
Hey, Jack.
He just like walked up. And I was just
What
like,
just
what the fuck is this? Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Layak to the show.
Hello, everybody. Hey.
What's up, Jackie?
If only I like I
Who
need your-
that is? Who that is?
That's Brian A. Prince.
How you be doing?
I'm doing pretty good.
How?
Who dis?
You
New host, who dis?
Yeah,
New
host of
host. Who this?
This is my lovely fiance coming home from her bachelorette party.
Woo!
Oh, I see. This tracks.
Yes, it does.
Hashtag.
How's the strip club, Jackie?
No, we didn't go to strip club. We went to wine tasting in Napa, and I don't really remember much of it. However, our hashtag was sip foray.
Because hip foray.
Natalie came up with that one.
That's a good one.
That's
Was that you guys that just rang the doorbell a second ago?
No, those were some people looking for get dogs out of shelters.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
And I said, no, thank you. No, we're not interested in that.
Because I was in the middle of a show and I'm like, I'm not. I already ran up.
Did you tell them to kick rocks?
I did not tell them to kick rocks.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did I interrupt a very in-depth interview?
No, this is
100%.
the interview's been good, but this is hilarious.
Okay, who are we interviewing again? Refresh my memory.
Brian A. Prince, he played the Predator.
Hot damn. You know, I used to not date a guy. I had a crush on a guy in 6th grade who they used to call the Predator because he had dreads. That was rude.
No,
Jesus.
What's Jesus got to do with it? Okay,
God.
sorry. Did I just come in and kill the vibe?
No, you didn't. You're out of
you, you boosted it.
Okay.
You now are the vibe, Jackie.
Yeah.
I am a vibe.
Welcome back to the Jackie Show. All things Jackie.
All I know is I don't even know what happened this afternoon. We went to Napa. There were people there. We went to a couple of places. I was the DJ. I don't even know how we ended up where we are right now. We dropped Natalie off.
So who drove?
So Emily,
Oh, okay.
Stole a car, drove it
I
back.
Yeah.
I would not put it past us at this point. So Emily picked us up, and then we went to my mom's house. My mom, amazing spread, like just like an amazing like mimosas and snacks, and she even got gluten-free stuff for my friend Natalie, who's gluten-free, and we had a nice little pregame, and then we went to a couple wineries, and it was so much. It was raining. It was freaking raining in Napa. It was crazy. It's August 1st, people. August 1st. Napa, it's raining. It's drizzling. That's why the wine's so good. I don't really remember much after that. But then we were back at my mom's house, and I was like, holy crap, is it time to go home already? I didn't even say bye to your mom.
She called me and said she had a blast.
Okay, good. So anyway, so then we were back at my mom's house, and then Emily and I took Natalie home, dropped her off, and then Emily dropped me off, and she's back on her way back up to Colfax. But I think everybody had a good time.
Good.
Better than I had expected.
Good.
It was definitely a good time had by all.
So James dropped the bomb. He said, Ryan, you're a good sport. Maybe you deserve an invite to the wedding after this.
Brian, you want to come to our wedding?
I'm an officiant. I can officiate if you need.
Oh, well, crap. Where were you 2 months ago?
I know. We've been looking for an officiant, man.
You can come. You can be our backup in case the religious person gets COVID. I honestly, so like we were hoping on this one officiant, and then that person couldn't commit because they had some personal things going on, so they couldn't commit. So I was like, okay, well, like this is our time to do like something religious that your mom wants to do, but then I would have had to like do a full conversion to Catholicism, and I'm a heathen, so that wasn't going to work. And so his mom found somebody who would do the service, and so then I was like, okay, we're just going to do that. But then I also wanted my niece. I also thought it would be a good idea for my niece to do it because my niece recently had COVID. So the funny part is I asked the new officiant, I was like, well, when was the last time you had COVID? She said, oh, I've never had COVID. And I'm like, oh, well, then I don't know if I want to count on you if you recently haven't had COVID.
She's also like 89 or something like that.
No,
she's
I
like,
don't think she's that
I know
old.
she's older.
But anyway, so so anyway, so that's kind of where we're at. If you want to come on down. You just got to bring a chair and a sandwich because you didn't RSVP by June 20th. But we would love to have you.
BYOB.
That's what it said on our RSVPs. If you did not RSVP by June 20th, bring a chair and a sandwich. We would still love to see you.
That's amazing.
And I don't think that's a bad deal. We're gonna have a photo booth. We're gonna have a DJ. We're gonna have an open bar. You know, I think chair and a sandwich is not a bad deal for all of those things. You can have a DoorDash. It's all good. What?
I was gonna say, I
bring
mean,
a chair for an open bar. That's
right? Yeah, I know, right?
Get some.
We also got we've got a taco lady, so
got a taco lady, got a cake lady. It's gonna be a good time.
Oh.
Where are you out of? Are you in California?
No.
Oh, okay.
He's in Seattle.
Oh, that's a stretch. But I think Ray's coming up. But
he's coming up from LA.
Yeah, but it'll definitely be a good time. I mean, shit, we had a good time at the bachelorette party, and I was a little nervous about that. I feel bad. Like, I feel like your mom and your sister got to see, like, I wouldn't say the real me, but like the non-anxious Jackie.
Drunk you.
I am pretty intoxicated.
Yeah, non-anxious Jackie is fun, Jackie.
Yeah. Okay, where were we in the interview?
Jackie, you have the next question. You're about to ask me something.
Okay, what? Do you like dino nuggies? because I'm about to go make me some dino nuggies right now.
You mean like the chicken nuggets look like dinosaurs?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, that's
Get dino
fucking
nuggies
classic.
for
Classic
life.
right there.
Oh my
Who doesn't
god.
love that?
I am definitely recording this episode and putting it online.
Yep.
Let's go maybe some dino nuggies, some French fries. Call it a day.
Oh, this is amazing.
I just
So
ruined
the,
this.
the,
I'm so
the, the
sorry.
blooper section, right, Phil?
There is no blooper section. This is the whole episode.
Okay, where were we? I don't even. My computer's not ready.
All right, Brian. Let's we're gonna switch some gears because we've been talking career. We've been talking kind of just like everything on there. But let's get into some fun stuff, man. Because you've got a whole crap ton of fun stories.
Let's go. Yeah, I'm waiting for you. Ask a question.
Dude. Okay, so like I said, because at the top of the show, I brought up the whole thing about the Fire Fest of cons.
Oh my God, were you at Fire Fest?
No, it wasn't Fire Fest.
No.
Fire
I
Fest.
fucking wish.
I think
Oh,
Fire
man.
Fest, from what it sounds like, Fire Fest would have been a better experience than the shit that you had to deal with.
Yeah.
Maybe that might be a stretch. I don't know. I think it depends on how you went to Firefest. If you were going like, yeah, this is gonna be dope, maybe not. If you're going like being like, I'm gonna fuck some shit up, then yeah, like that's. Sorry, like yeah, I will get into that. It's just like the Firefest documentary on Netflix is one of my favorite things I've ever seen.
I love it.
That's why I said what I like. The way I said it is because I know everybody's probably seen that documentary, and they it's something that they can relate to.
Yeah. So like last year, I started doing conventions again after COVID. Was like, I don't even want to say I was going to say getting better, but what a fucking lie. After people stopped caring about it for the first time, and like, no, I'm just gonna be real, okay? Like it's still out here, but everyone's like, yeah. So I was invited to this convention called DeadCon. What a name! And it was in Fort Wayne, Indiana. Never been there, and pretty good lineup. Like the like Danny Trejo is there, like a bunch of people, and they have like the guarantee was pretty good. So I was like, oh shit, okay, yeah, let's go, let's do it. So I go, the first thing that made me go like, was that they didn't book my flight until like 2 days before the show.
Oh wow.
And I was like, I mean, I'm not paying, but like, I fly a lot. Like, why would you do that? You know what I mean? Like, that's
Right.
Like I'm here for a good time, not a long time.
Well,
Okay.
it was just like I said yes like 3 months ago. Like, book it at
When
least a
you
month
say yes,
before.
yeah.
Save yourself some money. But they didn't,
Right.
which was just weird. I was just like, that's just weird. Why did they do that? That's weird. And so I go. There's some weird stuff at the hotel when we got there, but nothing seemed off. It just seemed really low key when we got there. Really random place, but whatever. Everything seems fine. And so, like, first day of a con, basically, like, go to bed, like, I'm tired. So I go to sleep. I wake up the next day. So it's Friday, first day of the show. Friday, Saturday, Sunday. That's what the website says. That's what they asked me. Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I go downstairs with all my stuff to set up at the table, and all of the other guests are just sitting in the hotel restaurant. And they're just like, where are you going? And I was like, I'm going to set up. They're like, no, you're not. And I was like, oh, that's weird. And so they tell me that we're not setting up today. Today's like a load-in day. And I was like, but it's Friday. Like, it's the first
Is
day
a
of the
what
show.
day?
Load in.
Like a load-in day. Like everyone's loading stuff into the con.
Oh, okay.
ballroom. But I was just like,
The night before, right?
it's usually Thursday. Like, there's usually the day
Right.
before it's load-in, but this is the first day. So, like, okay, that's weird. And so we go in. So I'm just sitting around waiting now. Like, I don't have anything to do. And I'd like to set up. I'd like to do the show, but there's no show. And shit, man. Like, we like the lady that runs the convention, who was just so sketchy. Like, I didn't like her. She just starts telling us like, oh yeah, like we're gonna have all these drinks and stuff for y'all if y'all want to have a party, which we're like, we don't. Like, I don't want to party. I want to do the con. What's going on? And then she's like, yeah, tonight we're gonna have this like big dinner. It's gonna be open bar, all this stuff. To which like me and most of the other guests are just asking like, okay, but like, why aren't we setting up? I want to make my money. I want to like do the thing I came here to do. And they just kept dodging our answers and giving us like really weird answers. So I just was like, okay, this is sketchy. And then so that night we go to that restaurant or like that like the dinner and the open bar thing. It's not a dinner. There's just like cheese and crackers. It's not an open bar. It's a cash bar.
You had a coochie bar too?
It had charcuterie.
Like,
Oh, charcuterie.
Coochie.
Yeah, a coochie bar. You know, like coochie bar. Love that. Yeah. Like it was like once again, I'm not picky. I'm like cool, free food's food, whatever. But like just like things weren't lining up. They kept saying this, and then this would happen. And I was just like, this is weird. And so finally Saturday rolls around, and we all go into the show on Saturday, and there's just like there's fucking nobody coming through. It's like there's no line to get in. There's like a handful of people there. It's a massive room, tons of guests. No one's rolling in. And I'm just like, this is not good. This is not good. So at this point, some of the guests start just like getting angry. And they're like, yo, like, where are the people? Give me my per diem. Like, I don't trust this anymore. What's going on? Like, we were all supposed to have handlers that help handle the money. And then, like, there were like 5 or 7 handlers out of like 40 people. So I was like, it's not staffed right. They give us like these really poorly printed out schedules around like 1 p.m. Which at that point I was like, oh, I had a panel this morning. I didn't know that. Okay, that's great. Because there's just like no communication. There's no communication. I don't know what's going on. So finally somebody comes around to give us our envelopes with per diem, which if somebody doesn't know what per diem is it's like the money that you get just like it's like you're spending money. It's like, hey, you're here, you're not home, here's some money to eat, basically. It's a very common thing in like film. Some businesses will pay you, business trips, conventions. If it's like a reputable convention, they'll pay per diem. So they come around and give us our envelopes for per diem. And these white envelopes, and like I open mine up and there's just nothing in it. Like, there's just it's an empty white envelope. And I just start laughing. Because I guess I just have like a trauma response where I just like laugh to shit. I'm like, this is hilarious. And like everyone else is pissed. Like, where's my fucking money? And I'm like, this is awesome. We're not getting any money. It's like I've been let down enough in life to where like I know like divorce all hope immediately. You know what I mean? Like I'd rather immediately sever ties with the fact that anything good's gonna happen than like spend the next 2 days being like, maybe I'll get my money. No, fuck no. I was like, we're not getting anything.
Right.
Is my flight covered? Is my hotel covered? Whatever. Let's just ride this out. And so some people walk out. Billy Zane was there. He walks out pissed off. A bunch of people start telling like staffers and like guests like you should leave. Like this is a bad con. And oh, dude, like a bunch of the guests go up to the con suite. Where at this point the people running the convention have like locked the doors and like locked them inside, and they're trying to like shake them down and get their money. But it was crazy because like if you didn't know that was happening, if you were just like attending, you were like, this is a fun show. But then there was this like whole other thing happening behind the scenes. And my friend Connor, he's like one of my homies from like college, and we used to do a lot of conventions together in Atlanta. Because before the Predator, I was like a convention volunteer for like 10 years, and so nice. he was one of my friends from conventions back in the day. We went to Japan together, went to college together, and he hadn't seen me in a while, so he just had been like, "Hey, next time you're doing a con, let me know. I'll fly out." So he flew out to DeadCon, and he's just like at my table the whole time, and he's just like, is this normal? I'm like, no, none of this is normal. This is not normal at all. And it was so great. Yeah, it was so great having his perspective there. Him just being like, this is weird. I'm like, this is really weird. And so like we're catching up. So like I honestly I can't tell if I just had like a good outlook or if I just was like, oh, fuck it. And because me and him were catching up and just watching this whole thing burn to shit. And like I said, it was crazy. So like the first day goes by. There's this party where like people who purchase VIP tickets, which like just like Firefest, they were like, oh, purchase the VIP package, and the VIP package, you're gonna get this whole thing and this and that. And someone on Twitter posts like, "This was the DeadCon VIP package," and I shit you not, it was like fucking like pencils with special erasers that you get from elementary school,
Oh gosh.
and like hand sanitizer, and I was like, "Wow, this is awesome!" Like, I was
Hey,
like,
that's what I gave out at my bachelor
exactly
party.
the same way.
Those are all the things
Oh,
I gave
dude.
out at my
So they had,
bachelor
like, a party.
Sorry. Okay. So you got pencil and erasers.
Oh, we might have lost him again.
Oh no.
Yeah, his internet dropped out last.
What does he have? AT&T?
I don't know. So Jack,
Yeah.
I need more Jackie stories.
Right. We need the film.
I don't really know much of what happened. I
Oh.
really don't. I really just needed some Dido Nuggies and to go to bed.
Okay.
I don't know, like I'm sure your mom had a good time, but I don't think they were ready for Jamie.
Did Jamie get drunk?
I mean, yeah, it's wine. She was pretty much the only wine drinker on the tour.
Well, because when Jamie gets drunk, she can get wild. So it's
She's
like...
wild. There were motherfuckers dropping. I will say that.
Oh man, that's funny.
No, I mean, I think we had a good time. Did you see the spread that my mom put together?
My mom sent me like 1,000 pictures that I looked at.
So my
earlier.
mom actually she had like a whole table. Her friend Lisa was like a total like bartender, had the whole outfit, like bartending outfit on.
I saw that. She sent me a picture of it.
Yeah, and she had like a whole spread, and that was like super cool. I was super awkward because I was like, I wanted, I don't know, I was just super awkward in general. And but no, everybody really liked it. We went to one place and we spent a lot of time there. And then we went to a second place. I want to say the second place we went to, they were trying to charge us. I'm actually really glad we spent a lot of time at the first place.
Mm-hmm.
And then the second place we went to, they wanted to charge us $25 per person just to hang out at the place.
What?
Yeah. So we ended up just buying a bottle, and because we were on like a wine, did he pop in? I think he's in the waiting room.
Oh, okay.
Okay, to be continued.
Oh my god! Y'all, sorry, my internet today decided to be not great. So
It's all good, man.
It's all good.
We were just like,
Okay,
all right,
okay.
stretch.
Yeah, all right. We're gonna go to commercial break.
Right.
I mean, if we had commercial breaks, that'd be fine. But like,
Yeah, right. That's when you're like, W, yeah, all 5 flavors.
so guys, let me tell you about all 5 flavors of W and
Yeah,
and
this-
for W.
the special 6 flavor. But yeah, no. So what was I saying? So yeah, so DeadCon Saturday night they have this like fucking party thing, like a dance thing. But like the guests were invited, and by that means like we're contractually obligated to be there. And so
Right.
if you have like a VIP thing, you get to mingle with the guests, which is like I like that shit. I think that's cool. Yeah, I'll hang out with some guests, but it was like, like the vibe was so funny because you have like the people who ran the con. There's 2 people. There's like the guy who got duped, I guess, and he genuinely like wants to have a convention, and like you feel bad for him because he's like, oh yeah, this isn't going to hell, and everyone's like, it's going to hell. And then there's like, I think her name was Shayla, like the woman who basically conned the guy into spending all the money, and it like ended up stealing a bunch of the money from the show, which I know because she had done that before, and I'll get into that. And so they're there. Those 2 are there. They're at this dinner, and so there's them. There's the guests who are all just like across the room, like just like being pissed off, like looking at them, being like, "Oh, look, everybody's here." And then there's like the VIPs who are like genuinely like, "This is cool. I'm here at this thing with these people," and that was so funny to me because it's like the unspoken holy rule is like everybody is like, let this be good for the people who actually paid to be here. You know what I mean? Like no one's trying to bring the kids into the argument that the parents are having. Like, so we're all just kind of like, hey, how's it going? And man, it was just like a weird vibe, but it was also like once again, I guess I just have a good attitude. I'm like, this is hilarious. And so the next day happens, and at this point, I text my agent because I have a few agents for conventions, and I text the one that didn't book me this show, and I was like, "Hey, have you heard of DeadCon?" And she's like, "Yeah, I stayed away from that show. It was their first year, and the person who ran it apparently was reported for like robbing money from this other show." And I was like, damn, well, I'm here. And she was like, "Oh no." And I was like, "Yeah, it's going about as well as you think it is." And she told me to just have a good attitude because it wasn't going to get better. Shit, man. So like we just last out the day. I'm at least laughing the whole time. And we get to the evening, and at this point, so like throughout that whole weekend, there's like the guests going up to the con suite room, like I was talking about. And Shayla had hired like a private security force, and they're like trying to be like, hey, you know, like buffer the angry people from the people with the money. But I guess the private security force realized, like, wait a second, like if they're not getting paid, we're
probably not getting paid. Yeah.
And so then they switch sides too. And I don't even know what else to say other than like that at the end of the show, like usually at the end of a show, like a bigger show, like with a main hotel, like everyone's in the bar, they're mingling, they're chilling. This looked like a fucking funeral. Everyone was just like sad and just sitting there and like sad, drunk. And then like the security force, apparently one of them was like an FBI agent or something. So for some reason they had access to like a fucking lie detector, and they had gotten like Shayla in this room, and they were like had her hooked into a lie detector and trying to figure out where the fucking money was. And they're like, "Where's our fucking money?" And I'm just drinking a mojito, like whatever. This is chill. So yeah, man. That's like all I can really say about DeadCon. Like that shakedown went on for hours and nothing came of it.
Shit is wild, man.
And then like all the guests were like, "We're gonna get our money," and I was like, "Y'all, you're not getting your money. Like stop. Like it's gone." Because Shayla like took it. She like took it. She spent it. I don't know. I really honestly don't know. I don't know what happened. I don't think anything came of it. I don't think anybody went to jail. Yeah,
I mean, just the only thing. But as soon as you started talking about it when we were at dinner, I was like, "Dude, this is the Fire Fest of cons."
Yeah, and it fucking was. And like I said, it was like if I like needed that money, I'd be pissed the fuck off.
Right.
Oh yeah, for sure.
It would have been good money. But I didn't need it, you know. So I was kind of just like, All right. I made like $400 or something. So I was like,
just from fine. from meeting fans, still kind of thing.
Yeah. Like I still had like a decent turnout compared to who all came. So you know, I was like, whatever, it's fine. Right. But dang, man, that was a crazy time.
That is insane shit, dude. Man,
where do we go from there?
I know. Where do we go from there? So, dude, I didn't get a chance to like bring this up when we were having our conversation because like dinner was over and we were all moving away. But like, I didn't like notice your shirt until the end of the night, and you're wearing another one tonight. Dude, you're a big Avatar fan? I'm assuming.
Oh, fucking huge, man! It's my shit. Yeah, I love that show. It's my favorite show ever.
Man, who's your favorite character?
Fuck. My favorite character like depends on the walkthrough. Depends on how old I am. Like I used to say Aang, and then I used to say Zuko, and now I say Uncle Iroh. Just because I fucking get him. Like,
Iroh has always been one of my favorite characters, dude. Like,
yeah,
such a good character. He's just so
dude. As a kid, you just think like, oh, he's this funny old man. You know, he says funny stuff. He's goofy. And as an adult, you're like, man, motherfucker's been through shit. Like, like he has murdered people. Like he has a life. Like he has a past, and he just chooses to be like, you know what? I'm just here chilling.
Because part of what he deals with, like, part of what his character in general deals with is, like, he seems like he's such a like nice old man, but it's really there's a lot of atonement for his sin that he's dealing with, and a lot of like he's haunted by a lot of what he did during the first occupation of the Fire Nation. So it's like, and you can tell he has a lot of regret too, like, you know, because like the way that he talks about stuff is just, you know, do this and you're gonna regret it for the rest of your life.
Yeah, and he tries to get Zuko to make his own decisions, which is like I think really powerful. He doesn't like helicopter parent him, and he's not like do this thing. He's all like, hey, like, I'm just saying. Here's a proverb. Do what you think is right, and I just think it's really cool to watch. So Iroh's my favorite as an adult for sure.
Was it season 5 where he started training in prison and was like just super badass?
The season 3. Yeah.
Was season 3? Yeah.
Yeah.
He just got like super ripped.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's just like, oh, I'm just gonna get ripped and break out of this jail. Because that's what you do.
Right.
It's get ripped enough to break out where no one can stop you.
Uncle Iroh is the shit, man. I always he was always one of my favorite characters. Toph Beifong, man.
Yeah.
Toph Beifong is the shit to me.
Toph is awesome. Toph. Don't fuck with Toph.
So are you excited for the for the movie they just announced?
I am always skeptical ever since M. Night Shyamalan.
No. It's it's not a live action movie. So it's I mean Netflix is doing a show, but movie they're
doing an animated with like the older guys.
With them as adults, right? And it's but it's by the same showrunners.
Yeah, just still like at this point I'm just like skeptical until I'm watching it, just because I don't know. Call me like negative, but I'm just like I'll keep my expectations low. Because like I don't know, it's my favorite shit ever. Like even Korra was a letdown in ways, not completely.
Yeah, that was gonna be I was gonna ask you how you felt about Korra, because that's usually where a lot of people were like they didn't like Korra and everything like that.
I mean, I thought the animation was awesome, and it was just like the storytelling in season 1 and 2 I thought was really poor. Like season 1 was just like I rewatched it recently and I was just like, oh yeah, this was good until they just decided that they were done. Like it was like kind of intense, and then suddenly they find Tarlok in the attic and he's like, here's everything that you're wondering about, and they're like, oh, okay. I guess we're done. And it's like, oh wow, okay. And then season 2 is like the same bad guy, except instead of worrying about the world-ending problem, Korra's like, I like him, he likes her. I'm like, oh, stop. Like, and then she's just mean, and you're like, I don't like her at all. Like, which I see what they were going for, but it didn't really work. And then season 3 is freaking awesome, and then season 4 is good. So I don't know. Yeah, Avatar, I love it. It's the reason I like do a lot of storytelling. Like my dream one day is to like show run a TV animation like Avatar.
Nice.
That's something I really want to do.
That would be dope, man. I would just depending on the sport storytelling, because that's always like my argument for everything is storytelling. Like, I'm always down to watch something new if it means we're gonna get like decent storytelling out of it.
Yeah.
I think you know what? That's funny because I think we got we had this conversation at the panel because we started talking about that you're a big anime stan, right? And we talked about specifically. I remember we talked about all of a sudden I'm forgetting it right now. The Netflix did a show, live action, which they ruin everything, but Cowboy Bebop.
Yeah.
Oh
Cowboy
God.
Yeah, that was awful.
Yeah. So like it's funny, like I have to catch myself when I call myself an anime fan, because like the kids today and like they got Crunchyroll and they're like, oh, have you seen this? And I'm like, oh no, I actually don't know what any of these things are. Damn. But like growing up, like anything made in like the 90s is like, it's so good to me, especially late 90s, like Bebop, Outlaw Star, all that stuff. But yeah, like Cowboy Bebop is one of my all-time favorite animes. It's so good. It ages so well. The older I get, the more I appreciate different aspects of it. And yeah, like then they made like the live action, which I didn't watch, but I watched like because I was gonna watch it, and then like everybody was like, "Don't," and then I watched like, a bunch of clips of like why was it bad, and I saw all those clips with Vicious, and I was like, why would you do that? Whose idea was this? Where they're like, let's take the character who's good because he's mysterious and doesn't say much, and let's make him say a whole lot of stuff nobody wants him to say. And I was just like, okay, that's a weird.
And that doesn't make sense
at all. And my thing is, it's like that's one thing is not understanding the character. But I remember I watched this like YouTube video that I think said it so well, where he said like he was like, my favorite thing about anime is that it's animated. So if you take it and make it live action, you have to do everything else perfectly, or I'm gonna hate it. And that's how I feel. Like I love animation, and not just because like of colors or some shit. Like there's a lot of stuff you can do in animation that you just can't do with live action. And I'm a freaking live action actor, you know, like, and I'm sitting here being like, no, like I love watch. I'd rather watch something animated because of what the characters can do. Like, I think one of my favorite things I've seen recently animated was Arcane on Netflix. It was so good. It was ridiculously. So someone asked, "What do you nerd out when you're not filming?" Like this, animation. This is the answer to my question. It's that question, and yeah, like. So like Cowboy Bebop, when they like made it live action, I already was like, all right, I'm already skeptical because it's live action now. And then it just felt like they just didn't, like, I don't know. Like I feel like it can't be that rare to have like a Kevin Feige kind of person that's like in the room that's like, hey, can we not? Like, can we?
Right.
The
Can we
characters
actually
like
stay
this
true to
actually?
what? Yeah.
Yeah, like it's like that era where like somebody, which I actually think it was one of those like Game of Thrones people, was like, hey, you know, it'd be cool if Deadpool was like this, like what, like in X-Men Wolverine Origins, like that weird era where I think you're muted. I think you're muted, but that weird era where like everybody in Hollywood decided like if we're gonna do an adaptation, we have to change it completely. And it's like, or you could just do what people want to see. Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay. No, I was saying, have you guys heard the story of how Ryan Reynolds got that role?
Which one?
A little bit of it.
new
I
one or
think
the
you've
old one?
told me before.
Deadpool.
How?
Yeah, like the bad Deadpool or the good Deadpool?
Well, both.
Yeah.
There's a whole story about both like how he got that role in general. So basically he said it. I want to say it was at he went to a Google summit as a guest, and he explained the story, and he was basically like, okay, well, 2001, he got cast as Hannibal King in Blade 3, and he you know, the movie comes out, and I guess there was a casting director that was like a big comic book nerd. That was like, if they ever make a Deadpool movie, you need to be cast. And he goes, I don't know who the hell that is. That's awesome. Thank you for doing that. And she gives him a like a whole crate of Deadpool comics. And from that moment on, he becomes obsessed because he was just like, this character, I was born to play this character. Right. So he starts campaigning for like a good couple of years to have a Deadpool movie made. And you know, obviously Fox is like, well, you know, we don't he's too small of a character. We don't think that's going to be successful, so we don't want to do that and all this other stuff. So you know, basically he just keeps on campaigning, and then they decide to put him in Wolverine Origins, right? Which, you know, everybody knows that movie fucking sucked and ruined everything.
Speak for yourself.
No, Wolverine Origins was terrible. That movie was really bad.
Anyway.
So what ends up happening is they you know, they do the whole what they did, and then I guess they didn't tell him until the last day that they were gonna do what they did with Deadpool at the end, like they were gonna shut his mouth and everything like that.
Mm-hmm.
And he got pissed. He was like, you know, why would you? He's the merc with the mouth. Why would you sew his mouth shut? And they were like, well, you know, because you know we want to do something different than what the characters.
So I will say,
does.
from a person who doesn't know much about like the origin stories and the comic books,
Mhm.
I remember going and seeing that movie and thinking like, oh, this is some real shit. Like it's about to go down.
That movie, just in general,
No, but
was
like,
terrible.
no, just like his mouth being sewn shut.
Oh, yeah.
You think he's a lot more like. Honestly, who's the guy from not Ragnarok, but Love and Thunder, the Christian Bale character? The God Slayer.
Oh, Gore the God Slayer.
Yes.
Or Gore the God Butcher.
Yes, that's honestly like that's the vibe that I got from that version of Deadpool. Like I would have never, like, from a person who's not like comic book like knowledgeable. That's the vibe that I got from the end of the when he shows up on what is it? You said it was origin story.
Yeah, when he shows up on the island.
Yeah, and they're going like face to face. Like that's the vibe that I got from him. And then to go on to the Deadpool movies like he has, I would have never guessed that this guy was a smart ass. I thought he was a very like sinister
Right.
character.
And that's why a lot of people were pissed.
Well, that was the issue.
Right.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be a
You know,
smart
because
ass.
because people who know him, like it's like, Wade is the merc with the mouth. He can't be the merc with the mouth if you sew his mouth shut.
Yeah.
And so I guess what they did is they tried to they said, well, we're doing this, and he goes, well, I'm not filming that scene, and I'm done. I'm not gonna let you finish this film because I'm not doing any of this. And they said, okay, well, then we're just gonna recast. We're just gonna recast for this. We'll get a stunt double to do the rest of the scene. We don't really need you to do it, right? And he goes, oh, okay, then I'm not going to let you ruin what performance I've done. So I guess I have to do this, but you guys owe me. You have to let me right this wrong that you're doing, and let me do this character correct. And Fox, just to shut him up, was like, okay, we'll let you make a Deadpool movie, right? So he gets the go ahead. After that, he films everything and whatnot, and then after that, they shelved everything. Like they shelved the project and all that because they just did not have plans to make a Deadpool movie. So a couple years go by, and he had been putting a bunch of stuff together. Everybody knows about the infamous treatment that he made. That he
Yeah.
right?
I gotta use the bathroom. So.
Oh yeah, go ahead, man. Yeah. Actually, I'll hold off for a second just so that we can do that. Does anybody have anything else they want to?
Not anything that wouldn't need Brian's input. There's a couple questions in the chat about James wanted to know what he nerded out on when he wasn't filming.
He talked about that.
He said anime.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's big anime.
Sorry,
so.
I'm coming and going.
Yep.
And then Darren had a couple of things about Robotech, whether or not he was a Robotech fan or spaceship. Shit. Sorry, I didn't mean to say that. Had a lot of wine. Spaceship Yamamoto. What do you know what that is?
Yeah, it's actually
Yeah.
Okay. Origins was all over the place. Ryan Reynolds was in Wolverine as Deadpool, but without the costume.
Well, I mean, without a lot of things. I mean, they gave him this. We'll go over kind of like, I guess I can go over that kind of stuff. So they gave him a bunch of powers that he doesn't have, that he didn't really need. They put a sword in his arm, which is weird, right? Because he doesn't have swords that come out of his arms. He does teleport, which is oddly like they gave him that power in that movie.
Well, finish your Deadpool, then we can get back to Brian's questions. Is that what you were doing?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I mean, yeah, they gave him they put the swords in his arms, which was dumb. They
is this guy's house in like a 7th grade science class? That's what it feels like with this background. I mean, it's cool, but I feel like I'm in science class.
I can't see it, so I don't know.
I need to just go away.
Yeah, you're fine, Jack.
I'm going to bed. I'm making some dino nuggies and going to bed.
Oh, Jackie, you are. Yeah, I mean, Brian's been good entertainment the entire time, but you are entertaining the living shit out of me right now.
All right, I'm going to bed, y'all. Good night, Swints.
Night.
Holla.
See you.
What time is it right now?
It is 8:28. So 7:28 for you.
Yeah. And I'm on bag 2 after doing the.
How many bags?
There's like 10, I think.
Okay.
So far, what I have right here is just this chest, so you can see the chest piece that opens up right there, and you can see this is where later on, once I build it, this is where they why am I forgetting the name of it? The something of leadership. I'm trying to remember what it's called, man. and not the spark, but like he
yeah,
the
I know
Matrix
what you're
leadership.
talking about. I can't think.
Matrix.
Yeah.
That's where you can put the Matrix of leadership later.
Okay.
That's kind of a cool thing right there. I was like, I gotta remember the name, man.
Right.
What kind of Transformers fan am I if I'm sitting here forgetting everything, man? Yeah, yeah, I mean, just so much bad that they did with that character, and it was just any fan of Deadpool at all was not happy with what they did with that character in that movie.
Right.
And like I said, Ryan Reynolds' whole thing was, you know, this is shit, and I don't want to. Like, he wanted to do the character correct, and you can tell because of the quality that the movie came out as. You know, like once the movie came out, the amount, the good quality in that movie, you can tell that, you know, he wanted to do that character correct. Anything pressing going on with you, Squints?
Not right now. No. Do we have a date for the third one? Have they
For Deadpool 3?
started filming? Huh?
No. So it's still in the writing process right now.
Okay.
But they are. I think actually they did just put it on the slate, and it's like for 2025 or something like that.
Okay.
But I mean, like it is being actively developed. It's not like something where they're just like, yeah, no, we're developing it, and they're not doing anything. Feige just made like a big deal about how this is the first Marvel property that is produced by an actor that's in the movie.
Right.
So he made a big deal about that. Well, I mean that is a pretty big deal. You know what I mean?
For sure.
All right, what were we talking about?
All right. I was trying to stretch time, so I didn't so I didn't get too far out of the story for you here. So where we were at was basically Ryan. He goes and puts out this this treatment that he went and did for
Oh yeah. No, I know
Deadpool,
the
right?
story.
Yeah, and everybody knows that part right there. So then what ends up happening is you know, the whole like, oh yeah, no, we put it out, we didn't put it out, that whole thing. But going on from there, when he did that, Fox saw like all the traction and everything, and they were like, okay, we'll make this movie, but it has to be PG-13 because we want everybody to come out and see it. We want all these kids we want kids to see it. It was basically their thing.
Right.
And Ryan was like, well, no, because
We
then
want to make money. That's what
yeah.
it is.
And his whole thing was, no, it has to be rated R because you're not going to get the essence of the character unless it's rated R. And you know, they fought tooth and nail and said, okay, you know what? We'll let you make it rated R, but we're going to severely cut your budget. Right. And they cut the budget down to like nothing. It was it was like, I think it was like 700,000 or something like that, which is like a severely small budget for a movie of that scale.
Right.
And what ended up happening was him, and I'm forgetting the name of the director, but the director, because he owns his own special effects house, you know, he put his own money into it, and they ended up making the movie they made. And it ended up making like $7 million or something like that. It made an absorbent, ridiculous amount of money. And that's why like Fox like put everything behind it after that, because they were just like, oh, okay, we can do this. And then studios, what they tend to do is get the wrong message from success in movies. So rather than, oh, this movie was good because it had all the creative freedom of somebody who cared about the character, they're like, it was only successful because it was rated R.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah.
So then that's why Logan was rated R.
Yeah, no, that's definitely what happens. Is like they kind of pull the wrong message. I mean, if you look at what was I gonna say, the like the Mandalorian, like it's like one of the most successful, I think, Star Wars franchises or Star Wars like stories in a while.
Mm-hmm.
And I think one of the cool things about it was how there was just like no like Skywalker stuff in it.
Right.
Yeah. And then season 2, they're like, you know what this story needs? You know what this needs? More Skywalker stuff. And everyone's like, okay. fine. And
Right.
it's just like you don't need it, man. Like Star Wars is a massive galaxy.
Yeah.
But whatever.
Mhm.
I don't know. Let's get back to Predator stuff. I don't want to go too far out.
No, yeah. And I was gonna say, let's go ahead and start going back to Predator and everything like that.
Well, I wanted to ask about Black Panther. So,
Yeah.
how was filming that, and did you have any? I mean, with Chadwick passing and everything like that, did you have any interaction with him at all? And how did that?
No,
Okay.
Yeah, I never met Chadwick because just I wasn't ever on set the same days.
Okay.
I mostly interacted with the stunt team, and I didn't do like a whole lot of time on there. I wasn't there for like a whole lot of time, but for the parts I was there, we were working our ass off.
Right.
Um,
You played with the Jabari, right?
Yeah, I was in the big Jabari final battle scene. And that was like a couple weeks of that. It was really fun.
Mhm.
Yeah, it was good. But yeah, I never met Chadwick, unfortunately. But yeah, definitely rest in peace there. I'm excited for the second one. A lot of people ask me if I'm in that one, and I'm like, no, I'm not in that one.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
All right. Let's see. Where do we go from here? You know what we do? I'm sitting here like, what do we do? You know what where I should go in this? I advertised them all through the beginning of the show. I'm gonna bust out the pod decks.
Yeah.
All right. I'm gonna give you the choice, man. I'm gonna start listing categories, and you tell me which one sounds interesting.
Okay.
All right. The Hustle, How Dare You, Philosophy, What the Fuck, Great Inventions, True Crime, Movie Night, Techie, Conspiracy Theories, Life in College, Booty, Fitness and Health, Take Me Out to the Ball Games, that's baseball stuff, Ghost Hunters, Hoops, so basketball, What's Out There, Entrepreneurial Secrets, Globetrotter, Self-Growth, the Royal Rumble, let's talk some wrestling, This or That, Sober Living, Film Buff, NSFW, so there's a Not Safe for Work one here, History, Funny Films, That's My Dad. I guess that's
do philosophy. I feel like this list kind of.
we're doing philosophy. All right. Oh God, this is already controversial. Does belief make God exist?
Oh,
Wow.
does belief make God exist? Oh boy.
If you want to skip it, we can skip it too.
I mean, like I have an answer. I'm just like not. I don't know. That's a tough one. I feel like people make things their God values, whether they realize it or not. You know? So like,
Okay.
in the religion that is capitalism, the God value is money. So,
And I mean that's 100% a correct way of thinking. I mean, have you ever read or watched American Gods?
no.
So Neil Gaiman wrote a book called American Gods, and basically it's kind of like the story behind it is like the old gods versus the new gods, but I mean that concept, that philosophical concept, is exactly like the cornerstone of it. It's gods only exist, and every god that you've ever heard of exists, right? Gods only exist because of the belief that people have in them. There's like an episode, there's an Easter episode where there's like 500 Jesuses running around, and it's because the main character is like, why are there so many Jesuses here? And he goes, because every different denominational Christian faith has a different view and concept of Jesus. So every concept of Jesus that they have exists in this plane.
Yeah, no, that's it. It kind of nails it.
Yeah. It's good, man. There's the show's on Stars, and it was with there was all kinds of actors in there, man.
Yeah, I remember seeing stuff for it.
Yeah.
Real quick, James Navarro asked about Lovecraft Country. I think I'm gonna take that.
Oh, that's right. You were in Lovecraft Country, man.
Yeah.
Man, what was that experience like?
I mean, it was cool. The short answer is that one fucked me up bad.
Like physically, or you mess with your head?
Physically, like that's the only stunt gone wrong experience I've ever had. Was on Lovecraft Country, because they just wanted to rush things, and yeah, like I don't know. Outside of that, like it was really cool. Like some of the actors I got to work with were really cool. We got to do some fun creature stuff. We were like working on these like prosthetic arm stilt things.
Mm-hmm.
We got to work with like the ape guy from the new Planet of the Apes, and he was really cool. His name's Terry. He's dope. But yeah, it's weird. I got a lot of feelings on that one. Like I don't know. I feel like whenever somebody asks me like, "How was blank?" It's like it's tough because it's like I never just want to be like it was good, and everyone will be like it sucked because it's like it's both. So I feel like my answer is always like, "Here's the good, here's the bad." And so with Lovecraft Country, like the good was that like the creature workshop stuff was freaking awesome. Like the stunt team was really cool. We did all night shoots, which is pretty cool on its own because you're just like shooting in the middle of a forest at night. You have all these lights set up. I think doing horror stuff is just like so much more fun than doing anything else. And the stunts that went well were really cool. Like it's like go off a mini tramp and like use the still to go over a car, like a lot of cool shit like that. The crappy part of it was there was somebody in charge. I'm not gonna name names, but there was somebody who was like a director basically who just was not very nice. Like to yell a lot, and it's just a weird look, man, to like have a TV show about very like racially sensitive subjects. And to have somebody who's just like yelling at people and not creating like a safe environment, you know, because it's like, yo, what are you doing? Like, chill out. Like, you know, like you got these like white cop characters who are like calling all these black characters the N-word a bunch of times. Everyone's uncomfortable. No one loves it. And then you have the guy like kind of like do it again, and it's like okay. And so he basically like he like had my stunt reset, so I was told, and then I like went to do this thing that I rehearsed so many times, and it went fine so many times. And the moment we went to do it on camera, I basically was jumping off of a hill and starting to like land in the bottom of a gulch, and the wire just like pulled tight before it hit the ground, so like slung and then slammed me into the ground. And that happened like 10, 15 times. I don't remember. A lot of times. It happened a lot of times. Because I kept just doing it because kind of stunt mentality at the time. It's just like, go for it. And that messed up my arm, dude. That like I still have an arm issue from that. And I'm pretty mad about it, to be honest. Like to get 100% real. It's just like that injury messed me up. It took me out of parkour for a while. It took me out of stunts for a while. I never got it completely healed.
So like it still bothers you to this day?
Oh, to this day, dude. Like it's like I don't go one day without thinking about it. I had chronic pain for like a year and a half. Made me go like a little crazy. Like I made a lot of weird impulsive decisions. Like I had to quit working on a graphic novel I was writing and drawing. And then like this is kind of what I mentioned at the top of the episode. And then like at the end of the day, like the same studio made Nope, and then Nope was all like, Hollywood treats people poorly. I was like, what the fuck is y'all treating me poorly? So that was weird. Like watching them make a movie about that, and I was like, okay.
And just kind of knowing that their practices, and they're just kind of like, you know, it's almost like they don't practice what they preach, kind of thing.
Yeah, or at least they didn't. And it's one of those things I'm like kind of afraid to talk about, but I'm kind of like, whatever, it happened. Like, it's weird working in the business, man, because like I'm never trying to. There's two things I never want to do. Is I never want to shit talk anybody, and I never want to. I always want to try to uphold people's integrity. Like somebody can completely screw me over, and at the end of the day, I will try to address the action that they took. I will not try to actually like completely demonize that person.
Right.
But that's difficult because sometimes you just got to say what actually happened, and people don't like hearing what actually happened, especially a lot of people in the movie business, because people in the movie business attracts people who want attention, and sometimes people that want attention aren't the best people. It's a shame, but yeah. So Lovecraft Country is a real bittersweet. I don't talk about it much just because like it took me a while to kind of get over that. Because it's like at the end of the day, what we made was a really cool episode of TV, but like, dude, that was traumatic for me. So
Right.
I don't know. That's the short answer on that.
Yeah, I mean that. I mean, like it's almost like a different side of the industry once you start like kind of like getting involved in that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially like in the stunt world, and you like realize how I don't want to say mistreated, but just there's almost like a lack of
Understanding, or
maybe that is what I'm looking for. Like just they kind of don't like they don't know how to kind of like relate on the level that you guys are of the things that you guys are dealing with.
Yeah, they want you to be invincible because that's like the whole idea, and it's tough because like I like working, I love doing stunts, I love doing the work, I love working in film, and there's like a fear of like if this gets to the wrong person, they're gonna think like, oh, this guy sucks and he just complains, and that's not true, you know, like I'll take a punch any day of the week and enjoy it, but like there's a line, I don't know, it's like we are people doing high risk work. Yeah. We're not disposable objects having fun. Like we are like people who enjoy our jobs, who take like calculated risks for the sake of the production. And just because our job is highly risky in nature does not mean that we should be treated in a way where we would be hurt, and it doesn't matter. And that's just something I feel really strongly about, because one of the biggest problems I think in film and stunts specifically, only because I can speak from that, is that people don't want to talk about the bad things that happen because they're afraid. Because they think like, oh, if I talk about this, I won't get work. And that's true. That's the problem, is that's true. It's if the wrong person, like this interview, if the wrong person hears this, they're gonna be like, that guy sucks. He just talks shit about everyone. And I'm like,
right.
Not. Like,
and it's not like anything on there. Like, you know, exactly. You know?
Yeah. Like that's the thing. It's like, I'm not naming names. I'm not saying this person sucks. It's just like this thing happened. Like I can't. It's I went so long not saying things happened, and now I'm like, hey, this thing happened. You know,
right?
Oh, I'm like, I don't know what to say. It happened, but
right.
I don't know, man.
So, in light of that, would you ever just want to act, or do you enjoy the stunt work more?
Yeah, honestly. So my dream, like, position, or what I'm trying to do right now, is to do the creature work, like more Predator stuff, more scary movie monster stuff. And if that means doing the stunts as well, hell yeah, let's do it. If that means not doing the stunts, cool, I still want to do it, because like stunts is mostly action-based acting. It's like, oh, I'm falling down and getting hit, I'm on fire. But like I like the creature, I like all aspects of the creature acting. I like the slow moments. Like Predator really taught me that, because in Predator, like I thought my favorite moments were gonna be the fighting and like the action stuff. But my favorite moments ended up being like the slower moments, like that part where like
talking and stuff like that.
Just like the small movement stuff, like breaking the glass and putting on the mask, or like almost attacking Olivia Munn's character but then not doing it. Like those little like more character moments, I really enjoyed. And for Predator, they're not that complex. They're pretty like they're pretty simple. Be this big threatening character. There's not a lot of nuance to it, but that like was enough for me to be like, damn, like I want to do more of this. So yeah.
Oh, and that's super cool. I mean, like, and speaking of the going back to the Predator and anything like that, man. Any tea you can spill as far as like any future projects or anything that you're working on right now?
Nothing I can spill just because I'm still waiting for some confirmations on some stuff.
Gotcha.
And I don't like celebrating too soon. But
Right.
if everything goes the right way, I should be working. I should be working this fall on some stuff. But I'm not gonna say what because
Yeah.
knowing
Yeah,
Lucky say it, and the next thing you know, you didn't get it. So
No NDAs and just all that kind. I get it.
yeah.
That's what I was saying. Is there anything you can drop? Not saying drop something for me.
Yeah,
man. I mean, because it's exciting to hear that and I mean, cool to hear that you're still continuing to work. You're still like you're looking into new projects right now, and that's really cool. Because now I'm like gonna be like extra vigilant about what projects are coming up that Brian might be in.
yeah.
Just to be like, not even to tell people, just be like for myself, be like, I know him.
Oh, thanks, bro. Yeah. No, I'm stoked. I'm hoping this year seems like it's shaping up pretty good for me. I'm looking forward to the end of it, hoping that goes the way I'm planning.
Yeah, no, I hear you.
So earlier you talked about a graphic novel. Is that still in the works or?
No, not right now. I'll probably, I don't know, not much to say on that. Just as much as like, it was something I was working on for like a decade, and then I just like the pain from the shoulder made me kind of put it down, and I haven't really picked it up since.
Gotcha.
But it was a big project for me. I had like a contract with a publisher, and I ended up quitting, and they were just like, "Why?" And I just like didn't know how to explain to them. Like, I'm in pain all of the time. like I would tell them that, but they were still just kind of like, "Can you do it though?" And I was like, "No, I can't." So,
Kind of
really,
makes it hard to illustrate when my shoulder doesn't work very well. Man.
Yeah. Really appreciate them like giving me like the chance on it though. It was really fun because it's when I went to school for visual storytelling and stuff like that. So it was like more in my wheelhouse at the time, but not doing it right now. So we'll see.
Gotcha. So you don't have any art projects right now that are going on?
I have some personal projects. I'm working on like an NFT thing with some friends.
Oh, nice.
And whenever I get to drawing, like if you check out my website, I got stuff on my portfolio page. But yeah.
Right.
Mostly just personal work these days, which is like how I like to have it. It's art was always supposed to be a fun thing for me, and then as soon as I turned it into work, it's just like I don't know. It was a lot.
But I mean, like it's like that Predator picture that we saw that you did when we were at the con. That thing was, dude. That thing was dope.
Thanks. Yeah, it's one of my favorites that came out. That one was funny because I drew the original sketch for that like the year the movie came out, and then
Okay, so
I
back
didn't end up finishing it until like last year. Yeah.
Nice.
That was fun.
Hey, Squinch, do you see anything in the chat at all?
I'm looking right now. Let's Create says, do you have any martial arts training prior to doing stunts in film?
I thought you did.
I mean, just the parkour stuff.
Just the parkour?
Okay. Yeah, parkour mainly. And I can like some stunt fighting, but I learned that like doing stunt training, but before film it was just pretty much parkour. It was like my main martial art.
Fighting in the vein of Keanu Reeves.
You do kung fu?
No, there's an interview that Keanu Reeves did when he did what was the Tai Chi Master? I think it was.
Oh yeah.
right? And he said something along the lines when they asked him like, "Oh, are you a are you a martial artist and how long you been doing it?" He goes, "I don't know how to fight in real life. I do movie fighting. The guys that are in these movies know how to fight and will probably beat the crap out of me."
Yeah.
Yeah. And then there's another one asking about are you a comic creator, artist, or writer, or both?
Yeah, both. Well, I mean,
Okay.
not like, I mean, I don't have like anything on the shelf, but
Gotcha.
like that's what I went to school for. It's like
Gotcha.
Oh, cool.
writing and drawing comics. Yeah, it's a whole art form, man. I love comics.
Yeah.
It's like one of my favorite storytelling mediums. I
Was
think
that
it's a shame
something
they're more popular than they are?
Yeah. Was that something that like, like when you were a kid, like were you a big comic book nerd?
Like, no, in terms of like, I wasn't reading a lot of like Marvel and DC when I was a kid, but I did read a lot of comics. I read a lot of manga and I read a lot of like morning newspaper comic strips.
Okay.
And I read a lot of web comics when I was a kid, but I was never keeping up with a lot of like Marvel DC stuff, which is I feel like what people are usually asking when they ask that question. But with the exception being Ultimate Spider-Man, I read a lot of Ultimate Spider-Man when I was a kid.
Okay. And when I say it, I really do mean like any kind of comic stuff, like anything. Like, so it's like, 'cause, I mean, one of the big things that I harp on for distance nerding is, nerding doesn't necessarily mean, the mainstream stuff. It doesn't mean that it's like just Star Wars and Marvel and DC. Like nerding is whatever you have a passion for and you nerd out on it, right? So it's like if you nerded out on like manga, like I was on a show on Friday and one of the guests, her entire back wall was all manga pages. And I was like, "Oh my god, is that all manga back there?" And she was like, "I'm happy you noticed that." And I was like, "Yeah."
That's sick.
So I mean, like, yeah, I mean, the whole big thing is, whatever it is that you have a passion for and that you enjoy, whether that be like, we just mentioned manga or just anything out there.
Yeah, no, for sure. And you're not a lot of stuff. We already talked about Avatar and parkour, and those are probably the two biggest things I nerd out on the most. Yeah.
Avatar, man. Yeah. And I just realized what time it is. All right, so give me a second here.
How long do you guys usually go on these?
2 hours. So I mean, we're pretty much
sick.
Yeah. So we are coming up on the end right here. I just have a couple of extra pieces that don't look like they should be extras.
Oh, did you put something together wrong?
It doesn't seem like it because everything here seems like it's put together right. Like I don't have any extra spaces anywhere. Well, just to show you guys what I have already here. Right, so basically I have his body here. Oh, let me switch cameras here. All right, so we've got Optimus's body for the most part right here, right? Looks like you've got bottom torso part right here, right? And then of course this part opens up right there, and that's where like the matrix of leadership would normally go. All right, so if you're familiar with Transformers, got his looks like arm sockets right here. So I mean, like there's full articulating pieces right here. Eventually, in the end, see even here it shows. You can turn him from full robot to a truck, and I can't wait to turn his ass into a truck. So I mean, that's gonna be it for us as far as this week's part of the build. Let me switch cameras again. That way we can do some proper sign-offs here. It's because I got the ring light behind me.
Yeah, I was gonna say you're pretty blown out.
I know. I'm trying to like cover the ring light, and then now my mic cables. Okay, this is fun. There we go. Yay! Okay. All right. Well, man, I hope you had fun. We've had some pretty crazy moments tonight, man. My fiance coming in. Yeah, my fiance coming in and and having her good time. But yeah, man, I hope you had fun.
Oh, this is dope. Yeah, thanks for having me on.
Yeah, man, absolutely. So yeah, man, and again, you're welcome to come on in the future again if you ever want to come on, man, and just kind of nerd out with us and have fun.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, man. Exactly, right. Before I do all the sign-offs and everything, guys, remember we do 2 shows a week. Of course, you're watching the build right now, and then on Wednesdays we do the download, where we do the news and rumors and all of the reviews and everything like that of different things that are out there. Aside from that, guys, I need your pluggables. So, Brian, give me your pluggables. What are some things you want to plug, or what are some things that how can people find you?
I'm not really active on social media right now. I have an Instagram. My favorite Instagram is well, there's the BA Prince, which is tagged right here, and then there's Tall Trainings @Tall Trainings, which is my parkour specific Instagram, and then I also have a website, which is thebaprince.com. I think there's a lot of my art and parkour stuff on there. If you're interested in like the stuff that I make, check that out. And I think on there there's also links to other interviews I've done. So if any questions I didn't answer here, you can probably check out those. But yeah, that's pretty much my pluggables. So,
all right, cool. Squints, what pluggables you got, man?
You can find me on Cuts and Chaos Pod on Instagram, and always here on Mondays on the build.
Oh yeah. All right. And then, ladies and gentlemen, you know my face. You know who I am. I mean, do I really need to do any pluggables? Ladies and gentlemen, you can find us on Twitch, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Facebook. If it exists, you can find us. I mean, you know, we still have a MySpace. We got a GeoCities. There's an OnlyFans. We only have pictures of birds' feet. Things like that, you know. So I mean, guys, find us everywhere where social media exists, and we will talk with you. Let us know how you like the shows. Give us a review. Tell us we suck. Whatever it is that you want to do, right? Just anything on there, right? The internet is the internet, right? And you know, things happen, right? I expect YouTube to be YouTube. So that all being said, I did not warn you, Brian, but at the end of the show here, we do something called the dance party. Essentially, once the theme music starts, then you know, just kind of grab something around you and dance with it, right?
Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe.
So that all being said, dance party time. I'll give you the example. Show them how it's done.
Distance nerding.
Then I go to Brian's screen. He's like wearing a Predator mask already.
Oh, I didn't grab it. So. Grab this. Put that right there.
See everybody next week.
Peace. Thanks for having me.
Wrong button. This has been a production of Distance Nerding and Tacos and Tacolicious. Time for tacos. Uh, Phil, I don't know if I'm saying that. Can you? No? Okay. Apologize. I don't apologize. I'm not sorry. Sorry, I'm not